Welcome and/or welcome back. Today's the day. We're on episode 24. We're going to fight that Mega Manticore. So far, we have killed just about the six, big air quotes here, six easiest of the Megas. We've worked our way into some Manticore armor. We've been working on our Mega Rex tokens. We're making good progress, but it's not done yet. We need to take on that Mega Manticore, and we finally have access to our Ancient Wyverns. These Ancient Wyverns are our best bet at taking on the Mega Manticore. We're at that point in the late game where we really need to only be using Ancients. And we're only using the Penguin Pygmy with the Corruption Stone. We just can't afford to take the damage these Megas are putting out. We want the maximum defense we can get. And all the Ancient Wyverns you're about to see, I aim for around over 100,000 health. Anything less than that felt a little too squishy. And all of these actually have 1,000 in the damage category. Also, I'm going to throw down an awesome teleporter here to save some time because I don't have faith in this fight going well the first time. Remember that Ancient Wyvern has the same set of moves that the Prime Wyvern does. It's just a tier above. You want to be using that tier above. It really does make a difference. I didn't have good success with my summons. You could see I threw in a Mantis. Rip that Mantis. I'm sure something that the ocean ate it up. It's really a tough fight. I really had a hard time with this Mega Manticore. It does a lot of damage. See that purple trail streaming from me? That's that heat-seeking missile attack. You can't dodge it. It's going to hit you. You can't outrun it. Once that attack locks onto you, it's going to hit you. It's going to do damage, and it's also going to do toper damage, which makes it a little bit dangerous because you need to make sure you're not just managing your health bar, but in addition, you want to make sure you're managing your toper bar. All in all, this Ancient Wyvern does have that C attack, that long-range fireball attack. I could not get that attack lined up. The Mega Manticore is way too fast. It is super vital to progression, so very important we get a consistent way to kill this Mega Manticore. Remember, the Mega Manticore is one of those Megas that drops the Manticore armor. Specifically, the Mega Manticore drops the Manticore chest piece. It's not RNG like when we were trying to find our Dox Enhanced Riot or a Dox Enhanced Chitin armor. It's a guaranteed drop. So we need to find a way to farm this Mega Manticore to get those Dox Enhanced Manticore chest pieces. That's very, very important for finishing off any of that endgame content. We had a couple of things go wrong here. The Manticore not only bites and has this heat-seeking missile attack, it still has the Manticore part enhancement attack. And even if that enhancement part attack misses you, that big shotgun blast, it still consistently has an AoE. It still explodes and you can take damage from us. Again, 0 for 2 on summoning in a Tamed to help us. We got a Doed. Not great for aerial combat. I've noticed when the Mega Manticore gets down to about under 40% of its health, more than half, a little more than half, it seems to hit a little harder. It seems to move a little faster. It seems to take a little less damage. Maybe that's just a placebo effect. Maybe I'm completely wrong. It's all in my head. It seems to be that way. It seems like I had this fight in the bag, and right about the time it got under about 40% of its health, you can see its regen is very strong. It starts to regen a lot, and I feel like I'm taking a lot more damage. And it could have been with that potion nerf, the way the potions line up, that maybe just this part of the fight I'm on a bad cooldown. Notice there I popped that corruption potion, and that pretty much saved us. It's kind of a last-ditch effort, but at the same time, remember, it has a potential nerf. You're going to get slowed or less damage or take more damage. And this time, I think we got slowed. I didn't feel like we were getting hit too much harder, but the Mega Manticore, we could not dodge their attacks. We were taking way too much DPS. See how it's kind of flying over on top of us? So we're getting hit by some bite attacks. You can see those in our status effect bar at the top. We're getting hit by some bite attacks, and we're getting hit by that big enhancement target blast. And we're not getting a good attack pattern in here to put some damage on the Mega Manticore, so its health is going back up. That Corruption Potion pretty much spelled doom for us. It saved us a little while longer, but it didn't change the fight into our favor, and we couldn't outrun it. There's just too much, way too strong. Rip that Pygmy, rip that Corruption Stone. We're back again. This time, I brought him an Ancient Wyvern out again. This one actually has a little less health, and I actually got 200% more damage into it. It doesn't make a difference. I couldn't figure out why, but the Mega Manticores seem to have, you know, I'm hitting maybe 500 to 600 harder. It's just not that much. I really needed to put more health into this Ancient Wyvern. This Wyvern's a little too squishy for the fight. Notice we of course have a Jeroboa Pygmy this time. We're just trying something different, and I don't think it was worth it. We're getting hit way too hard, way too fast. We still have our Corrupt Chitin Armor. That's still the best in slot we can possibly have. I wasn't really struggling with stamina, but with that Jeroboa Pygmy, that prime Jeroboa Pygmy over level 550, you know, we get the HP regen, the stamina regen, the defensive power, the offensive power, but getting that extra offensive power into the Wyvern points and into that Pygmy, it did not pay off. We really wanted that extra defensive power. This Ancient Wyvern is really struggling in this fight. I'm going to speed this up to about 10 times speed because this was a long fight. It actually was a little more than an hour of just circling, trying to pop potions and get into a position where we could go back into the fight. The regen on the Mega Manticore is not to be underestimated. You know, you're having a flying fight. You're up there on your tame, you're flying around, so you're in the sky. And you don't realize just how far you're traveling. You know, when you're on the ground fighting something, there's immediate landmarks. You walk by a rock, you walk by a tree, you kind of know how far away you were from that rock to that tree. We're in the sky. We're actually traversing multiple latitude and longitude points as we swoop around and circle back in for some of these attacks. I apologize. I missed gamming up here and the night turned to day. So I know it's a little bit dark here, but you can see, if you keep a close eye on that Manticore regen, we are desperately trying to do damage. We just don't do enough damage, even with putting a little more points in the damage, bringing a little bit different Pygmy. I'm not having good success here. I'm going to speed this up to about 20 times speed. It's going to make it a little jerky, but we're going to get really close to winning this fight. It's a long fight. I think the Ancient Wyvern is probably your best bet for this Mega Manticore. That being said, I don't think a Jeroboa Pygmy was a winning strategy. I think if we showed up with our riot armor, we would take too much fire damage. I mentioned in a previous video that Tame was doing a percentage, or the Ice Prime Dragon was doing a percentage of our damage to our health points based on our total health points. And again, on the Mega Manticore, one of the tooltips reads that way. I got updated. It doesn't actually mean a flat percentage, even though the tooltip says it's a flat percentage. Again, notice we popped that Corruption Potion, desperately trying to survive. When you read the tooltips and it says you're getting a percentage of your health points taken, the DinoOverhaul X mod, actually, you got to give a big credit to Mike, the developer, that he's taken the time to recode what that actually is, and it's a flat amount of damage. So even if I'd put, you know, a whole bunch of points in the health points, it's really a long fight. It's tough to understand how long this fight is. I'm going to turn this up to 40 times the in-game speed and see if we can't make a little more progress fighting this Mega Manticore. We actually burned through so many potions, I'm embarrassed to say how many. It was a lot. If you were keeping close track, you would have seen it was in excess of 50, so unless you've edited your stacks, you probably can't even carry that many potions to your fight. So without a, you know, absolutely overpowered stacking mod, we should have died by now. We would have died without those potions. When you see it says in your tooltips that you're taking a percentage of your health points as damage, you're not. I just want to make sure I said that clearly. I know I jumped around a little bit there. Bottom line, I still think the Ancient Manticore is your best bet, but not with our current technique. I did see someone taking a Manticore into the Mega Manticore fight instead of the Ancient Wyvern that we're using here. I'm going to put a link to that video in the description. You're welcome to check that out. I'm fairly confident they had a Manticore with a little better than 600% in their movement speed, which is probably about 140 of your 150, 151 points you can put into a tame. I don't really like to go that much movement speed, but with the Wyvern, our longest range attack is that C attack. And that C attack is just not accurate enough. The Mega Manticore is a little too quick for me, and we're doomed. When the Titan Overlord passed overhead, I knew it was done for us. We got it finally under 100,000 health. I am so excited here that I couldn't believe that happened. Notice we don't have the Titan Overlord debuff in our debuff bar just yet. So it seems that the Titan Overlord can be on the map but not influencing your flight. your fight until it comes into your kind of vicinity. I'm not sure what the range on that is, but we finally have the Mega Manticore down to 70,000 health. I really felt like having the extra damage would pay off. The Titan Overlords in our area, this is going to spell doom for us. There's just no way to finish this fight. It's way too close to a fight for us right now. We do have a max saddle. I didn't mention that before, but I have said before that saddles, the armor and saddles are a part of the damage mitigation formula. It's not going to matter. We cannot possibly do enough damage, even with bringing the Ancient Wyvern with a little more damage and that Prime Jeroboa Pygmy over level 550. We're still just getting blown up. We're getting absolutely wrecked here. The HP regen on that Mega Manticore is absolutely intense, and it's hitting us about 3 times as hard. We again popped a Corruption Potion and got blown up. We had about 40 to 50,000 health there. We got 1 shot, 1 killed. We're back again, because if there's one thing I do, I farm tames effectively and throw them at this Mega Manticore. Took us a little bit longer this time, and you can see its health points are back up. Again, I'm not having good success with my Ancient Wyvern into the Mega Manticore. That doesn't mean that you won't. I do think this is the best tame to fight the Mega Manticore. It's our strongest flyer right now. That being said, I have a really tough time justifying taking out these Ancient Manticores. They are so expensive when I could just get a nuclear missile and shoot it. Those missiles are so cheap in comparison to losing another Ancient Wyvern, losing another Pygmy with another Corruption Stone, burning through all the potions we burn through, not even counting for if we can't recover the saddles, or we have our enhanced corrupt chitin armor here, that Dox enhanced armor. Losing that armor, that could be a huge setback. Anyway, you swing it, I have a tough time justifying using the Ancient Wyvern to fight the Mega Manticore when I have access to that nuclear missile weapon. Now maybe in the future of Dox, we're going to see that mini nuke gets more nerfs, and this is your best bet. Maybe not. If you're watching this at a future date, try it out. Right now, I'm not having fun with this Ancient Wyvern. That doesn't mean that you won't. It doesn't mean that you couldn't take over this fight. I think I had the Mega Manticore in the last fight until the Titan Overlord came. Really a clutch save by the Titan Overlord to empower that Mega Manticore. It was an unpleasant surprise, but sometimes that's just the Dox way. Something goes wrong that's outside of your control, and you're just going to have to adapt and overcome. Anyways, Mega Manticore is not to be messed with. It's really not to be taken lightly. It moves fast, it hits hard, it's got a huge health pool. I don't think we've fought anything that's so close to 1,000,000 health to date. You know, we fought a lot of Megas, but most of the Megas aren't so thick. I mean, you can see here the Mega Manticore's level 1,200, so it goes to a higher level. I deliberately picked a lower level one, and I'm just getting blown up. Again, we threw on a Corruption Potion, and it pretty much is our doom. We're getting hit about twice as hard. You see that last one there is for 16,000, and we can't outrun it. And again, it's just regenning. At this point, I'm 3 Ancient Wyverns in. I'm thinking it's time to try the nukes. I maybe think it's time that, why would we try a 4th time? I don't know. Like, I think that's the right tame to use, that Ancient Wyvern. It's really our best flyer. So I'm going to try one more time. But this time I'm going to switch my armor. And instead of the chitin armor, I'm going to go with that fully enhanced, that secret corrupt set. So I'm getting as much damage reduction as I can possibly get as a flat percentage. And I thought I'd try and open up the fight with the nuke. You know, I figured if I was on this tame, of course, I've got my Corruption Stone on my tool belt. I've got a Pygmy with that Corruption Stone in it. I'm trying to just block as much damage as I can and trying to open up with that nuke. It didn't work. I missed the nuclear missile. I aggroed the Mega Manticore. The Dox Fat Man betrayed me. I'm just kidding. I missed. The Dox Fat Man didn't do it. Anyway, you swing it. The burn damage was intense. I was really hoping the burn damage wasn't going to be that intense. Again, I know it reads, the tooltip says, you know, a percentage of your health is going down. It's not. It's a flat number out of your total health. You know, full credit to Mike for putting in the extra time to balance his mod. Anyway, you swing it. This fire damage is a lot of extra DPS. We are better off not taking this fire damage, and the Mega Manticore still hits plenty hard enough. I don't think we are wearing the better armor right now. I really think that Dox enhanced corrupted chitin armor is definitely the best in slot for where we are right now. But if we can just get one Mega Manticore kill, we can get that Manticore Dox Enhanced Manticore Armor chest plates, it would really make a big difference for us in progression, and it's not going to happen this time. I'm done. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Everything you see here is going to die, and if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. We're going to run these Jeroboa Prime Pygmies all over level 550 for the stamina regen. I have put Ancient Griffins galore. Everyone's got a max saddle and no less than 140 points into movement speed. I'm done throwing my Ancient Wyverns. I don't even have more Ancient Wyverns to throw at the Mega Manticore, but I've got plenty of Griffin summons. I've been farming these pretty hardcore, and this is the point where I realized that it really seems like the nuke's got a small nerf. It's kind of hard to hit the Mega Manticore, but once I aggroed it, I pretty much try and stay straight on. A couple of times I made a big mistake here where I shot my Dox Fatman and then I kind of turned left or turned right or swoop down and swoop up, and the Mega Manticore adjusted and I completely missed. So I kind of play a little bit of chicken with the Mega Manticore here. I just stayed straight on. You can see with that mod there, the meters, and you can see right when it gets to about 400 meters, I fire, and I kind of stay just steady on target, and I pretty consistently can hit the Mega Manticore. I'm taking advantage of the fact the Mega Manticore doesn't de-aggro. It means it's gonna just take a straight line right for me. I'm deliberately keeping this fight over the water. I want to be away from the mainland. I want as few things to aggro onto me as I possibly can. Those Dox Fatman launchers I'm using, those are actually max damage, max launchers. You can't get a better launcher as to the current state of the Dox mod. And like I always say, maybe you're watching this series in the future. I really hope you're enjoying it. Double check that what I'm doing you can repeat. Try it out. You can see I didn't have good success with my Ancient Wyverns. It doesn't mean that you won't. You can see here that with a fairly fast Griffin, I can get a couple of shots in and I can really put the hurt on this Mega Manticore. It doesn't touch me. I stay so far out of its range, even though it has that heat-seeking missile attack, I stay far enough away it never even locks on and fires. And even though its health points are regenerating, I'm still hitting respectably hard enough with my mini nukes that it's worth burning through the couple I missed, the couple that exploded early. It seems they do in between 50 and 100,000 damage. There's our first Mega Manticore kill. Of course I get dismounted. I still feel just foolish as I killed this thing. I just get disrespected in the water. Anyway, swing it. The Ancient Griffin took about, I don't know, 1/10 of the time, maybe at the tops 20% of the time, and we killed it basically unscathed, no problem. We finally got our first set of the Mega Manticore armor. I'm sorry, the chest piece of that Manticore armor. We're super excited. Let's not forget we've got these Poison Golems, the ancient Poison Golems. And again, you know, if you're watching this series currently, you know, you probably know how strong these Golems are. Here comes the nerf. The ancient Poison Golem actually took even less time than the Griffin and less resources other than the couple of potions I needed, which a couple of potions I feel like are a little cheaper than the nukes. Bottom line, the Mega Manticore was surprisingly easy with the ancient Poison Golem. Maybe my settings are a little too generous and you're going to need a few more Poison Golems than I brought. All in all, it's kind of not a fun fight to film or to show footage of because I just smashed my X attack and you can't see anything. I don't think that's a bad thing that it creates that big particle effect, but as far as trying to show you the footage and the content, this isn't the most entertaining of fights. I stand here and I beat the Manticore senseless and I feel good about it. The Manticore stands there and takes the beating. It's great. It makes me feel really good. Ha-has aside, any way you swing it, I do think that this would be a way, especially if you're in a team, you can get a Golem gang going. I really think with a good Golem gang, you could really take on most of the mod. They really have a lot of strong positives to using them in your DinoOverhaul X playthrough. So, we finally have a way to reliably kill the Mega Manticore. What should we be doing? We should kill no less than 100 of them, maybe more. Well, we're going to get a King Titan trophy, we're going to get a Mega Manticore trophy, that's nice. We'll get a Manticore flag, also nice. More importantly, we're getting Ancient Fire Manticore Prime Summons, Ancient Manticore Ice Prime Summons, Ancient Lava Golem Summons, Ancient Poison Golem Summons. We're getting more Fat Man launchers, we're getting the Corruption Crystals, we're consistently getting the chest piece for that Dox Manticore armor, we're getting nukes, we're getting the Manticore heads we need to buff up our Manticores. It's a good mega to fight. It drops good loot. Everything that I just said there, we need for progression. Remember, when we put down our Ancient Manticores, they're going to need the head buff again. And then even drops a few of these prime dragons. So all in all, this is a huge win. More importantly, we've been making sure we stay true and farm our prime compies. What do you mean farm prime compies? I mean, we tame prime compies. Why do we tame prime compies? So we can roll for corrupt armor. Why does that matter right now? Well, I'm always doing a random shout out to my subscriber pool. So if you want a chance to get mentioned, subscribe now. Thank you Zero Zumac1, Harley Bennett, thanks Boy Wonder, and thank you Rosabina, looking quite witchy I must say. I really appreciate the support. Thanks for subscribing. If you would like a chance to get mentioned in the next video, subscribe now. Right now, push the subscribe button. We can roll for a full set of corrupted Manticore armor. We can skip fighting the other megas to get our full set of Manticore armor once we can reliably start getting that chest piece, as long as we have an income of corruption stones, as long as we've been taming prime compies. Remember I said a few episodes back, if you run a dock server, you better believe prime compies are about to become some currency. Yeah, this is why. We now have a full set, I'll get the boots in a minute, we have a full set of the DOX corrupted, that DOX enhanced Manticore corrupted armor. The best armor we can possibly get as a solo player. Remember, the chest piece on corrupted armors has 3 separate rolls: medium, minimum, max, whatever you want to call them, and they are actually different. So here we got ourselves the bottom 2 pieces and a medium. We need to keep rolling for a maximum. It's going to be a 5% damage reduction difference, which does actually make a difference. It looks pretty cool to get the full set on, and you can see here the corrupted version also not only gives you that bonus to all of your stats, it's also going to give you the fire, ice, and acid burn immunity, which is a pretty big deal. You can tell we're wearing the corrupted Manticore set because where you would see the Manticore set bonus, it's got that purpley glow to match the armor. Great looking armor set, really like the aesthetic. Also, I didn't mention this before, killing the Mega Manticore gives you a Mega Manticore Stinger. I know we got some drops to summon an Ancient Manticore, but what if we didn't get those drops? You just get 1 kill. Well, how do you get yourselves an Ancient Manticore? We have an Ancient Wyvern, but when we look at the big 3, the Wyvern, the Manticore, the Dragon, how do we get that Manticore? Well, of course, we sacrifice our primes. The Prime Manticores have really served us well and done great work. By sacrificing those Prime Manticores, we're going to get specific, unique heart relics, and we've got that Mega Manticore Stinger. Remember, if you're watching this in the future, double check this recipe hasn't changed before you just sacrifice your Prime Manticores. That's crazy talk. Right now, the recipe is 1 Mega Manticore Stinger and 1 unique Prime Heart Relic. Specifically, 1 Fire Manticore Prime Heart Relic, and 1 Ice Manticore Prime Heart Relic. We jump over to Skeletor the Transmute Shine, and guess what we get? It's all in our inventory, and we now have those summoning artifacts. So we've got 2 from the Prime Manticores we raised up, but we also got some of these in the drop pool from the Mega Manticore. All in all, I really want you to consider, how do I more efficiently kill that Mega Manticore? How do I get better at fighting that? It's got a lot of good loot in it. Finally, don't forget, you've got an Ancient Manticore and needs that head buff. One thing that's important to understand with the head buff in the Manticore armor, this is not a bug. I repeat, this is not a glitch in the mod. You have your full set of Manticore enhanced armor on, you jump on your Manticore, and you're so excited because you just have the best tame you could imagine, and then you notice that your Manticore armor doesn't show up with the headpiece of your Manticore armor, just the rest of it. But do you see we put a head buff under our Manticore? That head buff into your tames is so powerful, that permanent stat increase, it actually replaces the bonus you would get from having some pieces of your Manticore armor. It's not a bug, it's a feature. It really is powerful to be putting those head buffs into your tames. Consider always doing that. Actually, don't consider it, always do it. It's time to fight the Mega Eel. My suggestion for fighting the Mega Eel is to don't fight it. It's just so dangerous. It's so dangerous, and it's not only hard to fight, we don't have a lot of good tames to fight in the ocean with. We've got these ancient anglers. I pumped around 100,000 health on all of them and dumped health. I think you can win this fight with an ancient angler, but I think you would need to put a lot more points into speed. We're of course using our enhancement part saddle to get some ranged attacks on our angler. All of my other anglers I'm not riding got completely blown up. Riderless dinos do not work well in the docks mod, not a winning strategy. I really thought that my poison golems that are on attack my target or aggressive would really help me here, and they're not even going to follow me. I really messed up. I took myself in the shallow water. I should have gone out towards the deeper water and I should have tried to just stay at a further range away. And if you didn't hear me the first time, yeah, that's right. I swear the golems are going to get nerfed if they can keep bullying things like this. I'm going to take a golem into the water. I put a lot of points in the damage this time. I really don't want this to be a long fight. The longer this fight is, the more likely I am to drown. I'm in a windstorm. I don't know what that's on about. Anyway, you swing it. We hit hard. The mega eel hits harder. I think, again, with the good golem squad, you've got a shot here. You can see we do massive damage. You can also see we got massive damage done to us. We killed it, but we died. I don't know if that's a fair trade, but to get ourselves out of the water, I say it is. Let's say you just killed 10 of these eels. What are you going to get? Well, you're going to get some Manticore enhancement boots, which we don't need now, and some prime part summons for our Rex token. So it is a win. In the future, maybe we're going to have to fight one of these. Right now, we don't necessarily need to fight one to progress. I don't really want to fight another. They're scary. But there is something that we should fight. You're going to see here on our stats and our Manticores, we've tried to get the movement speed around 300%, and then we've tried to kind of even out the points from there in the damage and health. They all have around 100,000 health. See that transfer of power? That's how you know it's a head buff. There's something we should try and fight. Something we haven't fought yet. Something we are terrified to fight. Something we've avoided fighting at all costs. That's right. It's the mega sheep. That's right, the Ovis. The Ovis is the biggest troll in the entire mod to date, as far as I'm concerned. It looks harmless because it's a sheep. I mentioned before, oh, this was funny. So I've been dropping pygmy summons and getting a lot of penguins that aren't a good level, and I just put them on wander and aggressive. This is the wrong thing to do. Don't do that. Everyone in here has a corruption stone and is a good level. These are the pygmies to like pick up and run with. But the attack penguins, I just want to see if they can aggro anything. Hey, that Mega Ovis is just the biggest troll, the biggest tease. You think it's just not dangerous. You can see here we pretty much bully it. Doesn't even have a range attack. We can just float right above it and knock down half its health. No problem. We could have done this with anything. This is great. Right about the time it gets under half health, everything I've said is completely wrong and the regrets are real. It starts shooting this rapid fire minigun Uzi howitzer, I don't know what it is, but it starts shooting skulls at us, and then we kind of were in K mode and flew down, which was embarrassing because it hit us for 20k, and we deserve to be embarrassed for 23,813. Yeah, we deserve that. These skulls actually hit really hard, and the real danger of them isn't so much that they hit hard, and it's not either that you can't dodge them and they're really fast. The bigger issue is, I'll come back to that. Hey, look. I don't know what it is with this Ovis. I don't know if it's immune to nukes. I'm shooting it from 150 meters away, 115 maybe. I'm swooping into the damage. I don't hit myself with the nuclear missile. I don't hit the Ovis. Here I am even closer by about 115 meters. I shoot two of these bad boys, and this time they hit, and they don't hit me. So I'm feeling pretty good about this. The real danger of these skulls is that they guard the Ovis. I'm trying to hit the Ovis, and on a fairly consistent basis, yes, they hit hard, yes, they can't be dodged, yes, they're fast. On a fairly consistent basis, they actually block my attacks. I didn't really realize this until I was looking back to the footage. I thought I was doing damage to the Ovis, but in reality, my hits were landing on the Ovis, and I can't take them that well. I've got an Ancient Manticore here, head buff. I have corrupted Manticore armor. I've got that penguin pygmy with a corruption stone. I've got a corruption stone in my toolbar. I don't know what more I could do here to tank these hits better. There's just way too many of them. They really do hit hard, so I don't think tanking them is a winning strategy. That was my original plan. Knock it down to half health and then start nuking. Just save some of my nukes, and it didn't work so well. I thought that maybe I could just get off another nuke. This time it killed me. I have no idea why that one did. Absolutely no idea. I'm gonna grab the good penguin, try again, and it's occurring to me that I might know what's killing me with that nuclear missile launcher. It's not the sheep, but I was being targeted, not my tame, so my tame is just chilling. That's fine. I figure I should open up with another missile, and this time again I got completely blown up from twice the height I was at before. I think it's the skulls. I think those heat-seeking skull bombs are actually what my missile's blowing up on, which is then preventing the Ovis from taking any damage and putting me well within the range of the damage of the DOX Fat Meal launcher. It's pretty embarrassing. I actually at one point had about 4 Manticores flying around here, and I was pretty upset. I didn't realize that I could hit those skulls with the missile launcher, and I also didn't realize just how much they protected the Ovis, even not just from the Fat Man launcher, but in addition to hitting hard, being untargetable, moving fast, and blocking damage, they don't stop. You know, I couldn't get them to stop shooting at me until, yeah, apparently I got nuked again. Go figure. They don't stop shooting at you until the Ovis is about over 50% health. And after it gets over 50% health, it's like a regular sheep. It only hits you for 20k on the ground. Just kidding, a regular dock sheep. The Ovis is such a tease. There's not much more I can do as a solo player to take less damage. I could start eating some of the Doc's meats. I'm not sure that those couple of percentage points in this case are going to make the difference from the rapid fire. Just a lot of DPS. You just see 2,000 damage, but there's 20 of them. The other thing that I haven't mentioned yet is you're fighting the Ovis, and why did I want to nuke it at half health? Because I happen to know that when the Mega Hell Ovis here gets low, when it gets low on health, right about dead, if not dead, something's going to summon from its course. Remember the zombie wyvern that came from the Mega Fire Wyvern? I said, hey, the fight's not over yet. You got to plan for that. When you kill the Ovis, you want to make sure you're nowhere near it. If you're near the Ovis when it dies, the odds of you dying are astronomical. And you say to yourself, why? Why are the odds of me dying astronomical? Well, in a second here, I'm going to show you that when you kill the Ovis, something scary happens. Something you haven't seen yet. Something I've not shown you yet. Maybe you've experienced yet, and then you know right now what happens. If you know what happens when the Ovis dies, comment right now with the Ovis got me. Somehow, some way, use the word Ovis in your comment. Let everyone know that you saw this coming. You know what's about to happen. You know that I am in more danger than I've ever been in the entire time I've been in this mod. I'm going to use the environment to my advantage. I'm going to nuke this Ovis off the cliff edge, take as little damage as I can, and I'm going to use my Manticore as a nuke platform to tank as many hits as I can. I've dropped my missile, the Ovis is dead, and here comes the Titan Manticore. Yes, that's the mechanic that you just aren't expecting. Current state of the mod, it's the only tame that does that, only Mega that does that. Let's say you killed 20 Mega Ovises, what do you get? You get a whole bunch of tech gear, not really sure why. We got a Corruption Stone, that was nice, but as far as loot goes, it's not good loot. Maybe we didn't farm enough of them. I didn't want to summon in more than 20 Titan Manticores into my world. But we got 2 more pieces to our Titan, our Mega Rex, but we don't want to rely on RNG to get our Mega Rex. What about a Prime Dimorphodon? You've seen me get every part to getting our Prime Dimorphodon, except the Dimorphodon Blood, which you get from killing Apex Dimorphodons. They're pretty much all over the map in a wide range of levels. In addition to being all over the map, not the math, we get them in Mega Drops. Like all the Prime tokens before this, we are going to get ourselves a Prime copy, put in the pieces that we need. Make sure you're looking at your Doc's Book of Smarts for how to to make sure you have the right pieces for that recipe. And this is going to be our opportunity to get it Prime Dimorphodon. Just like all the other progression in this mod, we are going to sacrifice the Prime Dimorphodon. This is a really fun storage container. I'm really liking this storage container. Just like the other tokens, we're going to summon in our Prime Dimorphodon, not an Ancient Dimorphodon. This is not an Ancient tier, this is a Prime. It looks cool, it's significantly weaker being that lower tier tame, and we're going to sacrifice it. That's right. It's always 1 step forward, 3 steps back, 4 steps forward. Here we are. We've got ourselves another token. Throw a punch, jump for joy. We're getting closer to our Mega Rex. We need that Mega Rex to progress. That's right. We are 5 tokens in here on episode 24, but I decided 1 token's not enough. You know, we need to get 2 tokens today. We need 10 tokens for this Mega Rex, and I'm getting tired. I want my Mega Rex now. That's right. We're summoning in our Apex Dragon Prime. And we're going to do what we do to get Rex tokens. That's right. We're going to sacrifice our beloved Dragon Prime. This one even looks awesome. It's got kind of the red look, the glowing eyes. I'm a huge fan of it. It's gone. Gone forever. The end. We get another unique Prime Heart Relic. You might have a suspicion where we might go with that. But for now, we're just excited we got that Prime Mega Rex token. Another token, the Dragon token, the Argent, the Dimorphodon, the Leech, the Raptor, the Wyvern. We've almost got all the tokens, just a couple more Mega Rex tokens to go, and we will have everything we need to summon our Mega Rex and challenge those Titans. Only a few Megas left. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Until next time, if you learned something or enjoyed this video, share it with a friend. If you are new here, please consider subscribing. If you have joined and enjoyed before, welcome back. If you would like to see more quality content, please consider joining me in supporting the channel through Patreon and utilizing the affiliated links. Thanks!